What if the most credible UFO encounter in history wasn't an encounter at all? What if the Nimitz and Roosevelt incidents weren't visitations, but the catastrophic exposure of a technology so advanced, its own guardians were ordered to hunt it down? This is not a story about aliens. This is a story about a weapon system that broke its leash, and a cover-up not of the truth, but of a catastrophic security failure. This is the unfiltered truth of the Tic-Tac. The official narrative is a masterpiece of misdirection. For over a decade, from 2004 to 2015, U.S. Navy pilots from the USS Nimitz and USS Roosevelt carrier groups encountered unidentified craft. Dubbed Tic-Tacs, these objects displayed physics-defying capabilities. No visible propulsion, instantaneous acceleration. Like descending from 80,000 feet to sea level in less than a second. Transmedium travel through air and water, hover in defiance of wind, and the ability to spoof and jam. The most advanced military radar on the planet. They were targeted by the world's best fighter jets, and witnessed by highly trained naval aviators like Commander David Fravor. After years of silence, the Navy confirmed the videos were real, and called them Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon, UAP. They also established a UAP task force. The official position is that the objects are unknown, but pose a threat to flight safety. That is the public story. The acceptable mystery. It confirms the event, but carefully avoids the terrifying logical conclusion, hiding behind a veil of manufactured ignorance. What is the one place on Earth where you would test a radical new technology against the best tracking and weapon systems in the world? The answer is, in close proximity to a U.S. Navy carrier strike group during training exercises. Plus, the idea that a rival nation like China or Russia possesses technology a century ahead of the U.S. and has brazenly been demonstrating it for over a decade in America's most secure training ranges is not just unlikely. It's a strategic absurdity. It is a narrative designed to be frightening enough to justify a government response, but ultimately false. Now here is the raw, uncut reality. The Tic-Tac was not an extraterrestrial vehicle, and it certainly wasn't Russian or Chinese. It was a domestic black project. The technology displayed, inertia cancellation, warp drives, etc., is so revolutionary that its existence would fundamentally destabilize the entire global economic and geopolitical order built on fossil fuels. It is not just a new aircraft. It is a new paradigm for human existence. This program is not just secret. It is deep black. It is so compartmentalized within a maze of private contractors and shell corporations that even the Navy's top admirals and the frontline pilots of the Nimitz and Roosevelt strike groups are not read into it. They are kept in the dark. They are essentially testing their own technology against their own best military assets to gauge its effectiveness. The pilots weren't encountering an alien craft. They were unwitting participants in a live-fire exercise. Their radar was the target. Their weapon systems were the metrics. Their stunned reactions were the data point. The cover-up was not to hide aliens. It was to hide the existence of a multi-billion-dollar black project. The immediate shutdown of the conversation, the seizure of data, the quieting of witnesses, all were damage control for a program that never should have been seen. The creation of the UAP task force is not about finding aliens. It's a Pentagon power play, an attempt by the official military to finally get a handle on what its own rogue black budget wing is doing. The Tic-Tac incidents were a window into the future of warfare and a glimpse of a hidden world. It wasn't a visit. It was a beta test that escaped its laboratory. The truth isn't that we were visited by something otherworldly. The truth is that we built something that looks like magic, and the left hand of the US government has no idea what the right hand is doing. The government calls them UAP because Rogue Multi-Trillion-Dollar Black Project is a phrase that starts a very different kind of panic. The real threat to flight safety isn't from beyond our atmosphere. It's from a hangar we are not allowed to see, testing a technology we are not allowed to know, funded by money that doesn't have any money trail.